Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 1st of June 2022. Thanks for joining me. I just took the tram and there was this young couple with the most gorgeous poodle I've ever seen. He was buffed and puffed and the hair was like all done and things. So I thought I'd use the Magical Dogs Tarot for today's reading. Little poodle inspired me. So I'm gonna see what the cards have to say about Wednesday, 1st of June, and the reading for the first day of the month I always think is very telling for that day, but also it kind of gives an insight into the rest of the month. So let's see what the 1st of June is all about and what we can see for June overall. So let's have a look. I might need the guidebook for this because I think, if I remember correctly, they've changed the minor arcana. Let's double check. First card, we have the Seer. Which looks like the Hanged Man to me. The Hanged Jack Russell. Then we have the Two of Fire. And the Ten of Sky. Okay, so the Ten of Sky is going to be arrows. Well, no, swords, I mean. So the Ten of Swords, Two of Fire is the Two of Wands, and then the Seer is the Hanged Man. We had the Hanged Man yesterday, didn't we? Okay, so the Hanged Man is about changing your perspective. It's about letting go of behaviors and ways of living that aren't helpful to you or to anybody else. So if you're prone to addiction, it's realizing that that isn't getting you anywhere and saying, I'm going to live differently. Or if it's stealing from shoplifting from stores, and you keep getting arrested, then it's the realization that, hey, maybe I should stop shoplifting and I won't have these problems. So because it's the Hanged Man and it has to do with crime and punishment, it's about something that no longer works or that doesn't work in society, and seeing that for what it is, becoming enlightened about it and changing your ways. It's kind of being reformed, and that reformation leads to more security in your life and fewer issues with other people and yourself. So it's seeing things clearly so that you can live the right way, if there is a right way to live. So what have we got here? We've got this tree with all these kind of symbols. So we've got spirituality here. And then I can't really see this. What's happening here? It's this tree branch is kind of crooked, and it looks like this dog has just been running and he's kind of crashed against it, and the crash brings up that enlightenment. So these lines here that say boom, something's connected, could also represent enlightenment. So they've done that in a clever way. So this is like an accident. This is like hitting a tree trunk, hitting a wall and saying, I can't do this anymore. I'm in pain. My head hurts. I'm going to have to do things differently. So if I'm running through the forest, I'm going to have to watch out for the tree trunk so I don't go crashing into it. And then all these little symbols, it's not just a realization of, okay, this doesn't work. There's a spiritual component to it that says you really get it. Your perspective opens up and you understand something truly and essentially, and that knowledge then is integrated into your system, and you don't do that thing ever again. You learned your lesson, it's over with. So that's what the Seer does. You're able to see things in your life that are problematic for exactly what they are, and you're able to do something about it. And you're able to see issues internally and in your relationships and how your actions influence other people very clearly. So you're taking accountability for yourself and what you're doing. And that's not always the funnest, but it certainly clears the deck, and it means you don't have to carry around all this rubbish that's maybe torturing you or making your life difficult. And that then creates a space. And then we've got this cute little furball here about to take one path or the other. So the Two of Fire usually is a young man. He holds the world in the palm of his hand. And it's a card that talks about the fact that you have your whole life ahead of you, and you get to decide where you live and how you live and what you do for work and what you do for fun, and who you connect with on an intimate level. It's really all down to you. The world is your oyster, and it's down to you. In fact, it's essential that you plan what direction you're moving in, because ultimately you're going to be the one walking that path. So make sure it's a path that you want to walk and one that's enjoyable. Here we've got this little dog, and to me that's just so nice because, you know, this kind of little dog, if I saw a dog like that, I just want to pick him up and stroke him and say, how you doing, little doggy? And I wouldn't put a lot of responsibility on this dog. I wouldn't say to the dog, okay, now you have to choose which life path. So it's a nice perspective because we put ourselves under a lot of pressure, right? We say, oh, you know, you need to meet the standards your family expect, and then you need to make it in society, and then you need to look your best, and then you also blah blah blah, and you need all this stuff, and you put all this pressure on yourself to, or we all do, to kind of make something happen for ourselves. And we do that to ourselves, and it's interesting that we wouldn't do that to a cute little doggy because we like it and we don't want it to be stressed and under pressure. So I don't know about you, but I jump in here, I pick up the dog and I say, where do you want to go? Should we go left or should we go right? And it wouldn't be that serious. So what I'm getting here is, if you wouldn't put a little doggy under pressure, why are you putting yourself under such pressure? So easy does it, first of all. Stroke yourself a little bit. There, it's all good. So ultimately, these two together, you get something, the penny drops, something clicks, and you're like, oh, I don't feel pressured. I feel a sense of optimism and opportunity for the future. And this is fun. I get to pick whether I gallop off here or there. So it's choices as a result of motivation and understanding, not making a choice because you're being forced to. So you actually do want to get down to the lake here, and you do want to see something on the way, and it's your decision and it's your journey. So ultimately, you don't have anything to worry about. And the 10 of sky really is major worry. So usually it's a guy lying face down in the snow. He's got 10 swords stuck in his back and he's like in this pool of blood. Nothing's moving. He's hit rock bottom. It's over. And that card is all about the 10 swords really. So swords are ideas, communication, perspectives. And it's things have piled up so much that the person doing the thinking is now crushed by all of it. So it's this kind of thing. It's behaving in ways that aren't helpful to you. Maybe in the beginning you realized that it wasn't helpful. Like, you know, when you smoke your first cigarette, it's disgusting and you cough and it's a nightmare. And then you try the second cigarette because maybe this one isn't as bad as the first one. And then before you know it, you're a daily smoker. And then you forget about how disgusting the cigarettes are. You just keep smoking because it's become a habit. The seer allows you to see that for what it is and to say, do I want to keep smoking or not? So the 10 of swords is actually a good thing here because all the things in your life that keep you trapped, that say you don't have a future because you're addicted or you're stuck in this job and you don't have a choice, all those things that make you feel like, okay, I have no agency in my life. They are crystal clear. They're like lined up. And then with the seer, you're able to examine them and see whether they should control your life or not. And ultimately, this card says nothing controls your life except you. And that's the way it ought to be. Because you're the boss. The bottle of pills isn't the boss. Neither is the gorgeous man who, I don't know, you die if he left you or whatever. Those things don't control your life, you do. You're this, what's Toto from The Wizard of Oz. Although I think he was black. Okay. So you see things clearly. Plus, this isn't someone riddled with arrows. He's got one in his back, but he's actually chewing them out and he's getting rid of them. So not only does the seer help you see through a lot of nonsense and get to the truth, the 10 of sky says, this is just a little flesh wound. I'm pulling this out. I'm not letting this affect me. All these swords, these arrows, they can buzz off. I'm not interested, and you've tried to take me down. You haven't been able to, and I'm going to keep going. So this card is saying you're more resilient than you realize, and things may be negative or you may have some issues, but they haven't taken you out yet. And if things have got really bad and you're still functioning, then imagine how much better things can be if you now see the error of your ways or another person's ways. You're able to let go of it and then move into a future that's much lighter. And there aren't any arrows flying around. There are little huts and a lake. It's playtime. So it's you're kind of naturally detoxing things which poison you. And you're taking a new breath and you're taking a fresh look at the future and you're saying, okay, this stuff didn't take me down. I'm no longer engaging with it. It's been painful and difficult, but I'm still here. So what's next? What's the next chapter in my life? Oh, so that allows me to breathe. It's kind of so nice and encouraging that no matter where we feel we're at, whether we've achieved everything we're supposed to or whether we're way behind or ahead or whatever it is, this day is, the promise is greater understanding and more freedom. And that's a great way to start this day. And it's a great message for June, because this is summer as well, you know. So the dark clouds are gone. You're out of the woods, metaphorically, literally in this case. And now you're able to enjoy the summer and nature and all the things that come along with nature kind of waking up and blossoming and blooming. You get to blossom and bloom too, and to live this lighter experience. Number-wise, we've got 12 and 2 is 14, and 10 is 24, 2 and 4 is 6, and 6 in numerology is a temporary opportunity. So that's what this is, this gate. It's an opportunity to walk into the next chapter of your life. And please do. It will be fun. It will be positive, and you can leave a lot of negative stuff behind. Have an amazing day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.